Hey everyone, it's Kyan. Happy New Year. Hope you're coming into the year feeling positive and happy. Got a fantastic video I want to share with you guys today. If you're someone that's already trading the market, so you're interested in investing and you're trying to really understand like what is the key economic data that really drives the markets and what are investors monitoring very closely to predict the stock markets with an 85% certainty going back throughout history. I'm going to show you one of the most powerful economic indicators in the markets, which is the Manufacturing PMI report on business. Comes out once a month, and I'm going to break down this video, why investors are watching this report so closely, how it predicts GDP growth, so the economy, and then the earnings of companies, and why it literally predicts the moves in the S&P 500. And I'm going to break it down and show you on charts and show you compared to the data how they literally move hand in hand. Okay, so if you stay to the end of this video, you are going to be educated to a level where most sophisticated investors are looking at the key economic data to predict the markets. And it takes away uncertainty, it takes away a lot of fear, it takes away a lot of guessing, because macro data is what really drives the markets. Yes, we can have distortions when news comes out about geopolitical events or XYZ, but central banks control the money supply, and liquidity drives price for stocks, and growth in the economy drives earnings. And that's all you have to remember. Okay, so this report is going to tell you if there's going to be growth in the economy, which is the earnings of companies, and if there's going to be liquidity injections by the central banks or withdrawals, which are going to affect the prices of stock markets. Okay, so once you watch this video, it will literally give you a high prediction as to the direction of travel. So stay into the end because it's really going to open your eyes. All right, so all I want from you guys, your commitment to stay to the end because it's going to blow you away. So let's get right into this video. The reason I'm doing it today, beginning of the year, is because today we have the ISM manufacturing data coming out at 3 p.m. Okay, it comes out every first Monday of the month, and we're starting the month as of today on the first actual Monday trading day. And you can see it's a 3-bull news event. Okay, 3 stars, high impact news. So why is this report so important? Okay, well, what you need to remember is that the manufacturing data represents 20% of the United States economy. 80% is companies that provide services. 20% is manufacturing. Now, manufacturing used to be a massive part of the US economy, okay? And the data goes back way before the services data started to come out in 2008, okay? So this report asks, I think it's 300 purchasing managers, questions about their business. Now, we're talking about the biggest manufacturers in the United States, and you can use this report for any country, and you'll see the same correlation between the report and the stock markets. And I'll show you how the European Manufacturing PMI also provides the same accuracy, and you're predicting the market moves. So they ask a series of questions to purchasing managers, asking them what's happening with orders, what's happening with production, what's happening with supplies and deliveries, what's happening with employment, what's happening with your expectations on price changes, okay? And the central bank is watching this so closely because this is how they predict where the economy is going, and they move monetary levers, interest rates, to direct the economy. And interest rates is the most important factor that drives the markets. Okay, so what we can see on this chart is literally the manufacturing data going back to 1958, okay, in column AF, and then we have the S&P 500 annual returns in AD, okay, and we can match it up together. Here is the manufacturing data on the left-hand side. Here is the annual returns on a monthly basis of the S&P 500, okay, in percentage terms. Now look at the correlation between the two. When the report comes out, you have to understand how to interpret the data. Any reading above 50 indicates growth in the manufacturing sector. So that is the purchasing managers literally telling the markets, we are predicting there's going to be growth in our earnings, okay? And this correlates when companies release their earnings every 3 months to whether the economy is growing, which is GDP, okay? So you'll see the correlation between the stock markets, and you'll also see the correlation between GDP, okay? Because GDP is just the earnings of companies added together. This is why this predicts the stock market moves. So anything above 50 and growing is positive for the earnings expectations of companies within the manufacturing sector inside the S&P 500 or any country, okay? And it affects the index. So we can look over here and we can see manufacturing is highlighted here in the the orange line, and the blue line represents the annual returns of the S&P 500. Notice, okay, when we see the S&P 500 declining, it's because the manufacturing PMI survey goes beneath the level of 50, indicating the survey's telling investors we are predicting there's going to be contraction in our earnings. Now remember, earnings drives price. Investors will keep buying the stocks of companies that continue to grow their earnings. And if the markets are predicting that earnings are going to contract, they're going to cash in their profits and sell the shares of these companies, which explains when you look at the orange line going lower, which is the manufacturing survey pointing towards contractionary territory because it goes beneath the level of 50, you can see the annual returns of the S&P turn negative. So we're looking at 10% declines, 20% declines. And the moment the data bottoms and starts to improve again, so the survey starts to get better, which is literally purchasing managers telling the markets, yeah, all our new orders are picking up. Yeah, we're going to invest in more production. We believe we're going to hire more people into our workforce. The markets know what's going to happen. Earnings are going to return. So then you see, no surprise, the stock market takes off. And they literally move together. Okay? Look at the perfect correlation between the two. Soon as a report gets above 50, we're back in growth territory and the stock markets are moving. They're rallying. Now you're seeing 5% returns, 10% returns, 20% returns in the S&P 500. Okay, you even get returns back in 2011 up to 40%. The survey is telling you in real time, what are we expecting for the earnings of companies? Okay, so anything above 50 and growing, we know the earnings are going to get bigger and bigger. GDP growth is going to keep expanding in the economy. So what are investors going to do? Be buying up manufacturing stocks because they know the earnings are going to be growing because the survey is telling them the earnings are going to be growing. So you get a structural bull market where investors are coming in and chopping and buying up all these stocks, pushing up the value of the S&P 500. Soon as it gets above 50 and then starts to peak and then contract again, no surprise, as the survey is declining, it's still in growth territory, but now the managers of the biggest manufacturing companies are saying, yeah, our orders are slowing down. We're still making profit, but profit is slowing. Remember, what drives the value of stocks? Earnings growth. So any contraction in earnings, even if they're still making a profit, you need to see year-on-year growth, okay? But if there's a slowdown in growth, the stock market declines. You could have 30% decline growth, then turn into the stock market having 20% returns, or then going back to 5% returns, 10% returns, until it turns negative. Okay, and now you're going to get a contracting manufacturing sector, and you see the stock market start to decline 10, 20%. They both start turning again when the manufacturing sector starts to come back and return to growth. And then look, the stock market turns, and then it goes up 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. Then it goes into positive territory in terms of growth. And then you literally see these two surveys go together. So if there's ever an indicator that you want to know where is the stock market going, there you go, Manufacturing PMI. Okay, you can see that this is look going back for 2000, this chart here. I can't really go back to 2000, 1947, the chart will just compress, but there you go, you can see the correlation. Okay, it is beautiful. It literally shows you the direction of travel of the manufacturing sector. Okay, so when there's growth above 50 and it's continuously growing in the survey, you know, investors are buying up manufacturing stocks. The stock market is going to be in positive territory. We could have 10% growth, 20% growth in the stock market, 30% growth, for an example. And when the manufacturing sector then starts to decline, you know, there's going to be a slowdown in growth in the S&P 500. So maybe one year you go from 30% growth, it could be coming down to 20%, come down to 15%, it come down to 10%. You might have 5% returns in the stock markets. But remember, investors need surveys to tell them what's happening. And this is how the central bank is using monetary levers. Okay, and then obviously when the data goes beneath 50 and the contracting, you can understand there's a slowdown in the earnings expectations, and that literally feeds into when the GDP data comes out and it's positive or negative. Okay, so look, you can see it right here. The blue line again is the blue shadow is the manufacturing PMI, and the red lines are GDP quarterly. So look, you can literally see GDP is positive and the blue line is above 50. And when the blue line is declining, the GDP growth then starts to decline. Okay, they literally follow each other. You can see as it's expanding, GDP is expanding. As it's declining, GDP is declining. Okay, you can see this beautiful correlation. I'll even show you, if I take you over here to the European manufacturing PMI, and it shows the same thing. Look at that. Blue line goes negative, GDP growth is negative. Remember, what is GDP growth? The earnings of companies. Okay, that's all it is. They add all the earnings of companies and they say, here's gross domestic product. This is why when this is declining, the stock markets are declining, because the GDP growth comes once the earnings are reported negative. But investors already know the earnings are coming negative because they're looking at the survey in real time. And this is how you get your edge. This is how you get your predictions. Remember, this predicts the stock market returns with an 85% certainty going back throughout history. It's the most important economic indicator. All right. So understanding how to interpret the data, track the data is key. Okay. Then we have the services PMI. Now this makes up 80% of US businesses. So you have to combine the two together and you interpret the data in exactly the same way. So the US economy, notice in 2025, we had about 16% returns. But notice the manufacturing sector wasn't in positive territory. It was in negative territory for the whole year. What was holding the US economy up was the services sector. Okay, that was the key data. And remember, when a central bank is looking at the manufacturing data, okay, they're looking at manufacturing declining and they're going to use interest rate policy to try to stimulate the economy, which is why last year, we had interest rate cuts. And that's why right now we're betting more on interest rate cuts. So here we go. We can see meeting by meeting where the markets are betting on interest rate cuts to come in April this year, August this year, because they're looking at the data and they're knowing, okay, if there's a slowdown in manufacturing, we know inflation's coming back down to our 2% target. We know that the unemployment rate is going up as it is. Look, it's gone from 4.1 to 4.6. That's why the Fed's slashing interest rates. Okay. And that's vitally important. And then we understand that that affects the market's inflation expectations. It's come back down to 2% target. It affects consumer confidence, for an example. So the Fed is literally driving the economy using monetary levers by focusing on this data. And this data is part of our overall macro analysis, understanding fundamentally where the markets are going to go next. Okay. Now, what's so crucial about this is this doesn't just affect the stock markets, because if you can understand, gold is completely driven by interest rate expectations. Okay. I can literally show you right here. I was just reading this article today. All right. So here we go. It says it on this article right here. 3 successive rate cuts by the Federal Reserve were also a tailwind for the precious metal. Okay. Some leading banks forecast further gains in gold this year, especially with Fed expected to deliver additional interest rates reductions. Okay. So if you need to know where gold's going, you need to know where interest rates are going. If you need to know where interest rates are going, you have to be tracking the macro data, because you can follow the same data that the central bank is using. Okay. Because liquidity drives price and growth. Okay. GDP growth drives earnings. So you have to know if there's going to be growth in earnings to know where the economy is going to get your trades on. Now, this is very important whether you're a macro investor, whether you're a day trader, whether you're a swing trader, whether you're a long-term investor, whether you have money in your pension plan, whether you have money in your ISA, stocks and shares ISA in the UK, you need to know the macro environment. Okay, and this is the service that I run for all of the members I have from all over the world. This is what I teach my students that come on and want to learn one-to-one and have mentoring around learning macroeconomics. It's crucial. You have to understand this. Okay, so if you would like more daily educational updates on this type of thing, come into my Telegram community. Today, I did a video on it, broke it down for the members. We give you updates on the key economic data as it comes out, how to interpret, a lot of education, a lot of videos. But this will massively add value to your investing, your trading, and just your macro understanding of the world and what is the key data that's driving the markets, okay? We have to understand there's plenty of other key data, but this is just one of the jigsaws inside of the puzzle. There's many other data we have to look at. Inflation data, employment data, the bond market, inflation expectations, central bank expectations, okay? So on and so forth, consumer sentiment, building permits. There's a lot of economic data to track, but once you know how to break it down and manage it and look at it together, you get an incredible holistic macro view, and it transforms your understanding of the market. So you don't have to react. You don't sit when the markets are reacting and you're confused and you don't understand what's going on. You will understand. And that's the key. You have control of your emotions. You have control of your decisions because you're informed about where the markets are going because you understand the macro picture. So that's a crucial distinction that this VIP Markets Clarity can add to you, and just this education in general. All right, so let me know if that's added value to you. Did you know about the manufacturing sector? Is that something you've looked at previously? But yeah, this education will add massive value to you. So when people are telling you the stock markets are going to crash, or oh, the stock markets are having a decline, you can say, no, they're not. It's just a regular pullback. Within the 1 month volatility, you can say, I know why, because I'm looking at the leading economic indicators, and this is what it is. It's called a leading economic indicator because it predicts GDP growth and the earnings of companies with an 85% certainty. So when this data comes out, you know the markets are going to be going higher, or maybe could be pulling back, because this survey is predicting the earnings of companies 6 to 12 months before the earnings even come out. And this is why it's called a leading indicator, and it literally predicts expectations, and the market trades on expectations. Okay, so hope that makes sense, guys. Thank you for watching. More videos to come in 2026. I'll be adding a lot of value this year, so stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully inside the VIP.